Hello, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to our Thursday nights. Charles, thank you so much for joining us. Chris Johnson, Marty, thank you so much. This is a special night for all of us. It has been quite a week, and we've got some amazing things to talk about and to help everybody sort out and to discuss as well. So we're going to start this evening off with Marty, who's going to make some comments. We're then going to pass it over to Charles for him to be able to say something as well in the vein of the united aspect of what we are in Unpassive. Chris will say something, I'll have a few words, and then we will start to bring you onto the panel. So if you wish to join us when we finish talking and setting the ideas for tonight, please raise your hands, and then we look forward to having you join us on the panel, making comments. And also, I'm going to give you this to think about in advance. What don't you know, or what are you uncertain about Unpassive still? What are your concerns about what you don't know? So you can ask any type of question, the domains, the tracker, all the aspects of Unpassive up to this point, everyone, because from here on in, we are moving into a new phase of Unpassive, and we need to help as many people as possible to understand everything to this point. So thank you for being with us. I'm always very blessed that you're all here and very, very touched when you show up. Marty, I'm going to open up to you, please, if you would like to set the intentions and give us some words of wisdom about tonight. Then it'll be Charles, then Chris, and then me. So please start, Marty, when you're ready.
Absolutely. Hello, everybody. Hello, Chris, Robbin. My main man, Charles, is here. Tonight, one of the things we want to talk about, and it's through experience for me, actually. In my regular job, before I wound up online, so 18 years ago, I traveled the world. I've been to many different countries. Different cultures, different people, ugly people, tall people, black people, yellow people, white people. I mean, just everybody you can imagine I've met. And I found that I've learned to be tolerant, because I know that the main thing tonight, what we want to do is, I hear people say, well, he said this and she said that and he acted like this, and I think people sometimes over exaggerate what their intent is. And every culture is different. When I was in Japan, if you're walking down the street and you look in somebody's eyes, they look down and to the right. They don't really look in each other's eyes. I didn't get it. I didn't know what it meant. But you learn that everybody's a little different. It doesn't make it wrong. It's just different. It's a different way people grew up, different way people approach or answer something. I'll give you a crazy example, and this is just small. First time I ever went on a Caribbean webinar. It's not just Caribbean, I think a couple other countries. You go on, it was nighttime, and I got on and everybody was saying goodnight. So I'm thinking, damn, I'm late, right? They're shutting this thing down. And that's how they greet you at nighttime. Where in America, you say goodnight, you're ending something, right? You're leaving. Just little things like that. I remember in Japan, I'm telling somebody to come here, and I did this. They have no idea what I meant, because come here in Japan is like this. Little things, simple little things. But I want people to be tolerant. And the reason I'm saying that is we are a global country. We will be going to live events coming. We will meet each other in person, and be tolerant of people. Because I hear somebody will say, well, he did that because of this. No. And from experience, the last 3 weeks, somebody calls me, this person did this. What should we do? You sure that's the way it happened? Yes. And I said, okay, I never take anybody's word for it, not because I think they're a liar. It's just because they heard it from somebody who heard it from somebody who thought somebody else. His sister's uncle said something underneath an oak tree back in, and by the time it gets to the 5th generation, it's not the same story. Sometimes it's not even the same person that said something that was never really said. And I know you're thinking that's not, yeah, it can be that bad. Somebody said something, I go to them, did so-and-so say this? Yes. I go to the person that said it, did so-and-so say this? Well, that's what I think he meant. No, 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 no. No, I don't care what you think he meant. What was said? Oh, it was this. You're kidding me. That's not bad. So I go back to the person, they heard it from us and that wasn't said. They interpreted that that's what the person meant, and that's not what they meant at all. Now, the only reason I'm bringing that up, because you got to learn tolerance, especially when you're global and different countries. Some people were from other countries that moved here, like Charles himself. Many people in, on passive or founders, whatever you want to call it right now. So the main thing I wanted to bring up is be tolerant. If you hear that somebody said something, or you thought they said it, or you thought they meant something, go to them, ask them, what did you mean? What did you hear? No, I didn't say that. Oh, I'm sorry. But automatically don't play the defense. He said it, he's no good. He meant what he, because I find out that 90% of the time, there was no mean intent at all, meant, none, zero. I just wanted to bring that up because I know there's so many groups, there's so many webinars, and I think we should combine, like you notice we used to have, we would have a webinar, and Charles had a webinar, and somebody else had a webinar. Charles had a big group. There was a big group coming with the corporate. We combined, and people combined, and it worked. Now there's one webinar, two webinars, three webinars more, you know, to turn it into a rhyme. And I've got people asking, can I have one of the spots in Ashes, whatever? I'm like, wait a minute, where are you, you know, well, India, you guys got 7, 8, just combine. More numbers are better. Charles said it the other day. You could have 10,000 people on your webinar instead of 10 webinars with 100 or whatever. Take the 10,000. And I know what it is. Sometimes people want to be cheap or queen. I don't want to be male chauvinist here. Somebody wants to be queen or king or whatever, and every week switch it up. I mean, if we really remember the concept of unpassive, would we be doing that? Do you think Ashley Farrow thinks about that? Thank God he doesn't. Why? We wouldn't have unpassive. It's already, he's building a multi-million-dollar company for strangers because he's got that big heart. Shouldn't we go halfway? At least start combining, work together with people, go to somebody else's webinar. If you go in, and a lot of times they'll get somebody that speaks your language and they'll interpret what they can. Another thing I want to say, I want to thank everybody that felt to donate for David's wife and their funeral. We're very close to hitting the limit that we asked for. It was a big deal for David. He lives in a country that's really pretty expensive in the city he lives in. Like you wouldn't believe how expensive it is, but their income is low. It's really, it's a double whammy. And his wife wanted to be buried at a certain place with their family. That wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't. And he didn't ask for this, by the way. He didn't even know we did it. And Chris sent him the biggest chunk of the money already. So he was really happy, and I mean, extremely happy. He lost his best friend and his wife. So anyway, that's all I got for right now. And I can turn it over to whoever's next, Charles or Robbin. I think, Charles, you're next, man.
All right, thanks, Marty. That was well said. I'm really glad to be back, first of all. This is one of the webinars that I missed while I was in Africa because of the timing. This time in Africa is like past 3 in the morning. And you can imagine with the kind of schedule that I had with the network connection issues, there's no way for me to be part of this, right? So it's a breath of fresh air to be back again. And I'm just gonna continue from where Marty left off, right? The unpassive, we really are a melting pot, right? So international, global, and I'm so glad to have met so many different people from so many different backgrounds and cultures. And guess what? I feel like family when I talk to all of them, right? Tomorrow, very early in the morning, my time, I will be in a webinar with the Bangladeshis. And guess what? Sunday again, I will be with them. And I feel very, very comfortable. And I was going to talk about putting things together because that reminds me. Marty just said it, so many different webinars happening. And we can understand if it's different languages, right? But same language, we don't need to have a guest webinar in English, 2, 3, 4 of them on the same day. Really doesn't make sense, right? Okay, we don't need to have a French founders only webinar, 2, 3 on the same day with different leaders. We do not need to have Bangladeshis or Indians having different webinars same day. And that is what I was actually today, without talking to Marty, right? This is just some observation that I had. I was thinking that we're going to have to address these issues. We're going to have to unite because that is what Ash wants. And that is actually the best thing to do, right? United we stand, divided we fall. So I am just begging you guys, I am willing, all the LC members, all of us here on this panel and beyond, we are willing to work with you all. We are willing to be one big company because with the goals that we have to really, really impact humanity, we're gonna do it a lot better if we are together, right? So tolerance, like Marty said, different cultures, different ways of talking, not necessarily meaning harm, but that's just the way people talk, right? So one of the things that we're gonna find out is that when you travel, nothing widens your perception as much as traveling, right? Because you're gonna meet different cultures, you're gonna be taken aback at what they take normal and what you think is outrageous and vice versa, okay? And that's what we are, a melting pot, different cultures, different backgrounds, and you cannot trade that for anything. I wouldn't. What ONPASSIVE has given us for $97, okay, which has been paid off 100-fold already, family around the globe. I can imagine today, if I should go anywhere in the world today, there's no way I'm gonna be stranded, say at the airport, for example. It's not possible. I couldn't say that 3 years ago before joining ONPASSIVE. I couldn't. Now I can proudly say, Chris right here is my brother, Robbin is my sister, Marty is my brother, and all of you out there, we are family, one big family. Let's keep it that way. Thumbs up. I'm not gonna take so much of your time. I'm gonna send over to you, Chris.
Thank you, Charles. Glad to see you here. Glad to have you back. I enjoyed your webinars over there. Especially, you know me, I kept saying that gear, those clothes they gave you had to have been hot. I know you were hot over there, but you look pretty hot, dude. I was kicking on it. So, hey, Charles, Marty both touched on some amazing points. I'm going to use my brother, Bill Must. Bill Must is from the United Kingdom. Okay. The first time Bill ever called me, I was like in shock, to be honest with you. I talked to him. We became very good friends. And I think the greatest thing about this is I get to learn different countries' slang, their culture, how they talk. Bill would always say, like, we say my, he says me, like, hey, meet, how do you say that, Bill? We would say, meet my brother. They would say, oh, me, my son, me, my sons, just stuff, funny stuff. And it took me a couple of weeks and we would joke about it. So that's the cool thing. Learning, picking up a few languages. I mean, we're traveling the world on the internet, and we're learning different cultures, and we have to understand those cultures. And it's fun. I think it's fun, you know, listening to what they eat in Bangladesh, listening to seeing how they dance in India. I mean, that's all really cool stuff. And that's the stuff that we're all going to experience once we launch this baby, once this baby's born. We get to now go and travel and meet people from all over the world, and we're going to know their culture. And I tell people, like Marty and Charles says, jump on a webinar in a different language. I've done it many times. It's pretty cool because you know what? You know what they're saying. You know what they're talking about. It's nice to see. And they recognize you. They'll pull you up there. Excuse me. You can talk. I mean, it's just pretty cool. But understanding the slang, when I first got on here, when I first got into Bangladesh and India, people, I had men saying, hey, baby, oh, you're so handsome. That's their culture. Over here, we're thinking, huh? I'm thinking, whoa. And I said, no, I understood. That's how they talk. I love it. I don't care who tells me they love me or calls me baby, man or woman. It's a beautiful thing because that's their culture. So I'm saying, understand each other's cultures. The world's going to come together a lot more. We have so many culture classes. Charles brought up a good point about why are we having so many webinars? You know, we've got Bangladesh and India who held webinars all day long, which is great. Let's combine them a little bit. Let's bring these cultures together and show them what a pass is really all about. That's all I got. I just said, get along, have fun. The poster Bill made is beautiful. We accept each other. We respect each other. We stand together. We are impassive. It doesn't get any more beautiful than that. So, Robbin, back to you, or Marty.
Thank you, gentlemen. This is such a joy to be on here with the three of you. Different perspectives, different experiences, the same message. A very big shout out to Bill Must, who helped me with this beautiful, beautiful background. I have been very, very fortunate in my life. And I traveled around the world, and I've been to more than 200 countries. Many of you have heard my story, but very briefly, I just want to tell you where I come from and my excitement about being part of ONPASSIVE. For 20 years, I worked on cruise ships. So I had the opportunity of literally traveling and going into countries week after week, up to 11 months a year, every single year for those 20 years. Meeting people and breaking bread with them, learning to say hello and thank you, shopping, I'm an expert at that, but doing things and eating with them and having fun with them, in addition to learning the historical, cultural, and other beauties of their country and of the people, were the highlights of my life. And that is what I took back on board when I did my tour talks. Of course, I could talk about the history. Of course, I could talk about the aspects of what they were going to see. But there were other historian lecturers on board, and they handled that much, much better than I did. I wanted to work with the people, and I wanted the people from around the world who were on the cruise ship with me, some of them having waited a long time to take that cruise to that part of the world. I wanted them to know what the people were like. And I was so fortunate because I built up wonderful relationships with them. And I learned a tremendous amount from the different people in the different countries. So when ONPASSIVE came to me, when I dreamed it up and when it was brought to me, and I was told that it would be in more than 200 countries with more than 100 languages, this was something that I could truly get excited about. That's what I wanted. I wanted to be part of something that was global. I wanted to be part of something that was uniting people, not separating them, not breaking them into little pieces and little corners of the world. There's enough that goes on out there. History, politics, anger, jealousies, misunderstandings, religion, color. I'm hitting on all of this tonight, and I asked these gentlemen to be part of this with me because whenever I heard things when I was on the cruise ship, I would hit it and hit the nail on the head in my next tour talk. And this week has been a very, very emotional one for me, a huge roller coaster in terms of emotions, in terms of what I've been hearing, the messages I've been getting from people who've been misunderstood, from people who have fallen out with each other, from people who have had arguments. And I feel that we're better than this. We are at a point right now that we have waited for, and we have been so excited to get to in ONPASSIVE. Don't spoil it now. I don't care if it's full moon energies. I don't care if it's Mercury retrograde that's causing problems. We can be kind to each other. Tolerance is something that's very, very important. We might not like each other, and heaven knows there are quite a few founders who do not like me. And there are a couple that maybe I don't like so much. But you know what? I don't have to be mean to them. There is no reason to be rude and horrible to somebody else. It happens in the big world ONPASSIVE should be the shining star, the shining example of what we can do and how we can do things differently. This was all part of what Ash's vision, goals, and hopes were for the world and for the people in the world. I remember one of his calls when he talked about wanting to have 1 million Mother Teresas and helping people in that regard. Well, you can't do that if you're all fighting each other. So Bill helped me with this picture of bringing people together, all colors, all nationalities, all religions, in all the corners and circles of the world. That's ONPASSIVE. That's my ONPASSIVE. And I hope you will join me in being part and representative of what I really, really hope ONPASSIVE is going to be to the rest of the world. Assume the best in people. Why do we have to be what everybody else has been? Why can we not try a different way? We don't always have to think the worst of somebody. Give them a chance and let's see what happens. It may surprise you and it may not, but we can be there to think the best of somebody. Don't automatically think the worst. Multicultural respect. We are from so many different countries, 1.2 million founders. I look forward to going back and traveling as soon as I can, when the apples and the zucchinis now start filling the baskets of my O-wallet. And I look forward to finding that chubby little unicorn dancing around the different countries and the different ports of call that I'm going to go and visit again. But I want to be able to do this with the same respect and beauty of what I remember from before, and help to make this a better place again, to make this world a more beautiful, peaceful, gentle, polite, kind, and happy world. That's what ONPASSIVE is all about, with the different platforms, Oh Bless, Academy, helping people to understand and learn about each other. We are the representatives as founders of this company, and we're going to be the ones that people are going to turn to. And we are all leaders. Whether you are on the panel right now, joining the panel later, hearing my voice in the recordings, out there on the, oh dear, I hope I get this right, the live streams, or anywhere else out there in the world when it's being repeated. We are all founders. We are all the same. We all paid $97 US to get into this. We all cry salty tears and we all have red blood. So please, let's remember this. Be kind, be gentle. And if by some chance there is a misunderstanding or there are accusations that fly and somebody finds out that they are wrong, step up and have the courage to go back and own it, address it, and apologize. We don't need to have more wars. There's one on the brink right now. There are a couple of others that are brewing elsewhere. We don't want this in our world. We don't need the wars. We don't need the hatred anymore. Haven't we learned anything from the history of our world and our planet, of what we have lived to date? So please, let's work together. Let's join hands, like this picture is, and learn to respect each other. Learn about the other person. Go to different webinars. And I did ask you at the end of last week if some of you would go and visit other webinars, other countries, other cultures, other languages. You may not understand it, but you understand the passion, the feeling of what you are hearing. And I'll tell you this, English is the universal language. Everybody wants to speak English. So if you go on as a founder from another country into a language that you do not speak or understand, the mere fact that you are there is showing them respect, and they in turn will respect you and immediately turn to English or have somebody help and translate what you are saying so they can understand and in turn respond to you in English. So that's me getting off my soapbox. Bill, I thank you for this magnificent background. Anybody can use this. It's not proprietary. It's with much love that we put it together. And now for tonight's agenda, as it were, what we're going to be doing. We're going to start bringing people onto the panel, and I'd like you to do a couple of things for us. First of all, if you did attend another webinar during the week, another language or another country's webinar, just let us know which one you went to. That would be wonderful. It helps to bring people together. Don't be frightened about doing this. The other thing is, if you still have questions or you're unsure about something that has happened up to now with ONPASSIVE and the platforms, for instance, being a reseller or being a customer, where we're going with all these academy, how we're doing with domains, any of these types of questions or related thereto, please ask now, because we will take this also and we will take further and help other people, like that stone that drops into the lake and the ripples that will go out. We will be able to help so many people. So let's start bringing people on. You will raise your hands, and I promise you, everybody whose hand is up, we will get to. If you've got a question, if you'd like to make a comment about any of what we have said just now, or if you would like to ask something about anything to do with ONPASSIVE to this point that we can help to understand so that we can all move forward into the next phase. Thank you, everybody. And let's start our questions. So first hands up, we will start. We'll just give everybody a moment to come onto the screen. If you put your hand up as an attendee, you'll be brought onto the panel. And on the panel, if you have a question or a comment, or you want to tell us something, and if you want to help support the respecting of others and, standing together in this, we'd love to hear what you'd like to say as well. We ask you please to keep comments to 2 to 3 minutes so that everybody can talk. And if you have more than that to say, please put your hand up again. And I promise you, I will add you to the list and we will go through and continue until the end. Anybody have any comments or any questions to start us off?
And keep in mind, there's not a dumb question, because if there is, I have asked it already in the last 3 years, okay? So don't feel bad, go for it. And if I haven't, you guys know Chris Johnson is here, and I'm sure he has. Just kidding, Chris, I love you.
Judy, thank you. Would you please unmute yourself and give comments?
I just want to say thank you so much for the privilege of being able to join on webinars. I've learned so much from ONPASSIVE, and the speech you just gave, Robbin, just blew me away. And my bags are packed, Robbin. I'm ready to go traveling with you as soon as we can. So
that is exciting. That is so exciting. I look forward to doing the travels with everybody as well. Thank you, Judy.
Okay, thanks.
Yvonne, if you'd like to unmute yourself.
Thank you, Robbin. Yes, I'm sorry my camera's not on at the moment, but I just wanted to put a quote out there that I'm just putting in the back office under network. But be the kind of energy that no matter where you are, you bring value to the lives around you. Now, I live by this every day, so I think that's what we need to do. And what you said was spot on. So thank you very much. That's it.
Thank you, Yvonne. Thank you. I have had a question, and I'll let one of the panelists answer this. There is concern about domain names. And one of the questions that I've been emailed is, do we have to have a separate domain name for each account if we have more than one? Or can we use the same domain name for each account?
The answer to that is we should have a separate domain name for each account, right? Now, you can just leave it as easy as whatever it is you're using for the email, if it is not taken, right? So basically what's going to happen, if you don't have a name for it, the system will suggest some names close to what you have already. But you have to have one for each account. You can kind of forward from the other domains to your one domain if you want to do that, which I wouldn't advise. I don't think that's advisable. Okay, so just keep in mind each account has a separate domain name.
And to add to that, remember, try to keep it short. Try to keep it something that is easy for people to remember. You can go on Google right now and punch in domain generator or something like that. They have free ones. and you can put in certain words and it'll jumble it up or whatever you want to do to make a domain. It doesn't mean it's available, but it'll give you ideas. And then when it's time, there's no difference between the domain selection that you're going to have in the company as GoDaddy. They all run off the same thing. If it's available and nobody has taken it, you can have it. Now, some domains not in the company, but out in GoDaddy, they can change the price of how much it costs. And I believe in ONPASSIVE, because it comes with the package, you won't see any difference. So you can, if it's available, you can have it. So keep that in mind. But in your mind right now, I have already came up with a bunch of domains that I would like to have, just in case the first one wasn't available, or the second one, or the third one. And think about something that's catchy and short and people might remember it. You know, I mean, if you think about in the world now, like you have easy this or something really simple name, and you always remember it. If you can get something like that, I'm not saying you'll be able to, but if it's available, it does make a difference. If domains that people can remember, it's a big deal. But keep it short. That's the main thing.
Thanks, Marty. Thank you, Charles. Does that help you with that answer? I just got a thumbs up in the text. Great. Marie, if you'd like to unmute yourself, please, and ask us your question or make a comment.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning to everyone wherever you are. My name is Marie Pendy, and I am talking to you from the great state of Virginia. I've been listening to everyone on the panel, and the idea of combining these webinars and compiling them together is a wonderful idea. I usually will attend the Arabic webinar with Mr. Peter Soro. He knows I'm always there. And I usually attend the Bangladeshi webinar. And at the same slot, you may have a French webinar going on. So you jump from one webinar to the other from like 7 in the morning all the way till 2 p.m. when there is the corporate webinar on a particular day. So it is very tedious sometimes. That's how I feel. Because sometimes I do attend about 6-7 webinars if I'm able to on one day, just jumping from 1 hour to the other. So the idea of combining and compressing some of this webinar would be a great idea, because it will allow many people to experience other people's culture, to even write a comment on the chat. And I've been even translating it to the language, and it is very, very helpful. My other comment is, you know, each time you attend a webinar, especially when Ash is on, he says, upgrade your dreams. Or you go to another webinar and says, upgrade your dreams, and you do. So I am in a phase where maybe I have upgraded my dreams so much that I have outdone myself, and I don't think that, I don't know, I'm having a feeling that it is not real. Can anybody in the panel or everybody assure me that this is real? Thank you.
Thank you, Marie. That was wonderful. Yes, this is absolutely real. Mike, if you would like to unmute yourself, please.
Hello, everybody. Good evening, our leaders. That was a great talk I could hear from Papa Africa, from Robbin, from Big Brother Chris DeGamo, and from Big Brother Marty DeGamo and Chris Johnson. Thank you, everybody. So concerning the webinars, I've attended Julia and Milo. I attended our 2 O winners, Mondays and Wednesdays. I'm just coming from giving a technical talk in the Antigua webinar. So then I'm now on the Robbin's webinar. So my question I wanted to ask is for any of the leaders out here. Basically, when we launch to the world, we'll be founders, we'll be resellers, and we'll be customers. I wanted somebody to let me know, for us to be resellers, will we be giving like some kind of licenses, or just being a founder in it that we are? Will that let us be resellers, or we'll need some kind of certification, or the company will give us some licenses to be resellers? I just wanted to know that. Thank you, everybody. I'll be asked by so many of my teammates, so I wanted to know. Thank you.
This question. So now, by law, right, a customer in the United States should not be making money. So if you're a customer in a company, you should not be earning income, right? We are founders. In reality, we are resellers. Let me just start by saying this. When we launch, today we are founders. When we launch to the world, anybody who's coming in at that point will be coming in as a customer, okay? Everybody. And then they're gonna have to choose. Do they want to stay a customer, or do they want to become resellers? Because we, the founders, automatically we are resellers. We just happen to be founding resellers. So we are those resellers who came by virtue of our timing and positioning. We are founders. Now, the only reason ONPASSIVE has to use that name, resellers, is just to be able to pay us. We're not gonna have to get any licenses, just so you know. We're not gonna have to take certifications or get special licenses to become resellers. We're just gonna have that title so that ONPASSIVE can let us earn income. That's it. Okay. Hope that makes sense.
Yes, and one thing, because I love piggybacking on Charles, is there'll be a button in the back office. It'll be that simple. When you decide that you want to be a reseller, you'll be able to click it and you will be a reseller. It's just about that simple. The last time I heard Ash talk about it. So yeah, Charles is right. In order to be legal, you have to change your title on who you are from a customer to a reseller. But it's very simple. We just happen to be all three because of when we got in. We are founders, we are resellers, and we will be customers. Yeah.
And
thank you very much, sir.
Let me piggyback of Marty's piggyback, right? So that button, you can click it anytime, right? So it can be same day, it can be 1 month later when you find out that, wait a minute, I could make some money. And then you click it. So it's not gonna expire. As long as you're there, you can at any point in time decide to turn on the switch and become a reseller.
Is that good, Mike?
Yeah. Thank you very much. That was awesome.
Good question. Thank you, Mike. Jay Wu, we've missed you. Please unmute yourself and join us and ask us your question or make your comments.
Oh, thank you, Robin. I'm happy to be able to be back and more frequent. I have been one of those ONPASSIVians who has to watch the videos after, but I'm always happy when I can be live with the rest of my buddies. First thing you asked was what other webinars I've been on. So I've been on the Ghana Tree webinar, South African with Marina, with Comfort. I've been on that one. The Caribbean one I've been on, and one of the UK ones I've also been on. So it is great to be with our buddies on the other side. And also PNG, love the PNG folks. Nothing but love for PNG. Okay, so my comments and questions. On the topic we just covered about affiliate. As founders, we're contract. We have to sign an NDA, so we do have a contract somewhat for our position and some rules. And most affiliate positions, otherwise, normally there's some things you have to sign that you'll do this and not do that. So my question is, for affiliates with the button switch, would they not have to agree to some sort of terms of service for selling the product? I think the answer is yes, but it wasn't mentioned. So Marty's saying yes.
So obviously it is obvious. Yes, they will have to.
Yes.
They will have to agree to something. That's for sure.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, because you can't do business as a consumer. You can consume all you want, but otherwise there has to be some contract to be able to do business and be paid. So
yeah. And the main thing, Jay Wu, is it's also protection for the company, because there's proprietary stuff that they might or might not see. In most cases, the proprietary stuff is what we will see and they won't. But either way, part of the NDA is protection both sides. So
yeah. Okay, I just wanted that to come out so that in understanding that being an affiliate, there's still some obligation on the party who agrees with ONPASSIVE to do that.
Yeah, let me say something to that effect, Wanda. So we as founders, we wouldn't have to sign that anymore, because whatever it is,
we're done. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I know we're done, but I'm talking about for anybody after the foundership is closed. So they're going to have a lot of benefits as an affiliate, even though they won't have all that the foundership would have. But because they're dealing with our proprietary products and a portion of the compensation plan that deals with them, I'm sure there has to be some legal sign your name kind of thing going on.
Yeah, and keep in mind, whatever benefits or extra thing founders have, they may not get, but don't kid yourself. There will be resellers that come into this business that will make millions and millions of dollars. Yeah, no doubt.
Well, that's good for them, but they're not founders.
It's a good selling point for us founders, right?
Yes.
Because believe me, once the marketing campaigns start, we're not going to be accepting founders anymore, as Ash has said that. But trust me, our presentations will change, because we're not taking founders, we're taking resellers. And those resellers, especially those early bird resellers, they're going to be in a very, very good position.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty sweet for them. I don't think they'll really know the difference. They won't know it because it's going to be so sweet. That's a sweet spot to be in.
Here's the thing, J-Wo, because of the tools and because of the traffic that also the people that come in after us will be part of, that's something they didn't have on the outside. And when they see what they have here.
Okay, mommy, Nana, I love you.
I love you too, Michael.
Yeah.
You didn't have to say it in front of everybody, okay, guy?
I know, right?
I told you to keep that a secret, Michael, and there you went. Ruin the whole, I'll blow you kisses later. No, but anyway, a reseller will come in, and because I did market, if ONPASSIVE came along 5, 6, 7, 10 years ago, I wouldn't be worried about money. I can guarantee that. Because the traffic part of it and all that, I mean, the benefit of that is amazing. But the beauty of it is all these years followed from one shiny object to the next will actually be an ONPASSIVE, but they will be under you instead of above you. That's a nice feeling.
Sweet. All right. My last point or question has to do with domain names and branding. They're two different things, but sometimes they're used or it sounds like they're being used in an interchangeable kind of way. So our CEO can say, I'm building your brand, right? I'm going to be promoting your brand. And then in the same paragraph or the same topic, we talk about how, even though it's not said that way, how it is that your domain name can help you to do that. Okay, so can you speak to the difference a little bit without going in all the detail about building a brand, because that's a topic really by itself, and what or how a domain name can assist in that? Because I know for a fact that the domain name can be one that I have, 1t25.com. But because the keyword or the search word is in the article or the page title or in the content, that's what will pull the page up, even though the domain is 4 digits, 4 characters in short. So can you sort of talk to that? Because my team is confused. I think I've done a good job of trying to separate the two, because everybody's not going to have a long one and everybody's not going to come up with a short one. But it's confusing when you try to think of a name for your business, a name for your domain, and think about your brand when you don't know what a brand is, except, Kellogg's, and, you're sort of thinking back in that way.
I take it, or someone else wants to take it? I can take it. Hey, okay. One difference between building your brand, domain name, all right? So a domain name is any name that you choose. And I'll give you examples to make it clear, right? So I can choose a domain name and I say charlesosong.com. That's just a domain name. But is that my brand? Is that what I really want to do in life? Is that what I am here excited about ONPASSIVE for? Well, maybe if I am Chris Johnson, right, who is excited about helping homeless people, right? Chris Johnson can say helpingthehomeless.com, right? So that's a brand. That's something he identifies with, okay? So ONPASSIVE is gonna be helping build that domain name, which in this case says helpthehomeless.com. And Chris can be proud of that at the end of the day. But if he decided to say chrisjohnson.com, right, nobody's gonna know what he's really branding. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's up to you. If you have something in your head that you want to be like, you want to be remembered for, you want to be branded for, you can use that for your domain name. I don't know if that helps.
Yes, it helps.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it does help. Like I said, I needed someone that's often speaking to say it so that it could carry a little bit of weight, right? Because it's just a heavy thought that I've got all these positions, I got to come up with different names, and then what is the brand, and is the name my brand? And, and for some, like my team runs from like mid-50s to 82 years of age. Some of them, they're not gonna, right, they're gonna be actively passive, but they're not gonna be massaging and trying to use the tools to, bring more traffic and earn more money. So for it to be said that way was very helpful. Thank Charles.
No problem.
Great info, good information, and great question. Thanks, Jay Wu. David, would you like to unmute yourself, please?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm going to kind of talk about the same thing a little bit, but honestly, I feel like there's a lot of people doesn't understand that, and it would be a good idea if we have a webinar and talk about the domain name a little bit, so a lot of people will understand what it is. I used to have one, but it's been a long time since I've had one. But I think domain name is really important because that's your business, and I think if you get traffic coming in, you don't want to have any common name that's going to, nobody's not going to show any interest in you because you don't have the right domain name. I think it's going to have something to do with the product that you're doing with right now. So I don't know. That's answer to that question, but I think it would be nice if we have a webinar and talk about domain name a little bit so a lot of people understand what it is. I mean, I used to brand myself and used to have a domain name, but it's been a long, long time since I've done it. I just made something simple. But the thing is that I think when you come down to the products, you're going to have something that advertises the products that what you're trying to do with ONPASSIVE. So I think that's the domain name is important because you're bringing traffic in to introduce the product and Unpassive. So I think a domain name is important. So I think it would be nice if we have a webinar someday and we talk about that, so a lot of people understand what a domain name and how you brand yourself and all that stuff. So that's my question.
Yeah, so it's more like a comment. It sounds like more like a comment to me, and you're right.
Well, it's like a comment, but it wouldn't help. It wouldn't help to have whatever and teach people about that kind of stuff. You know, that's what we're here for. We're here to teach people.
Exactly.
Right?
So what I'm saying is you're right. It's nice to have a webinar about that. Domain name is important, but we have 1.2 million founders, right? At this point in time, and growing. And I don't want everybody to be worrying about, well, I got to choose some name that has to do with AI or that has to do with VPN or whatever it is that we're marketing and stuff like that. Those names aren't going to be many, right? Now, the advantage that we have.
Let me say something. You don't want to have the wrong domain name and you chase traffic away too. Well, I'm not interested in that guy because I don't like the way his name sounds. So what I'm saying is you got to have the right name.
That's a very good point. So I'm saying I'm agreeing with you, but I'm just trying to let people not to worry too much, right? We're not saying put your website davidswitzer.com. That's not what I'm saying, right? At the same time, what I'm saying is if you don't have AI, artificial intelligence, marketing.com or whatever, that kind of fancy name, don't sweat it. Why? We have the unique advantage that they're going to be marketing for us, right? So AI is going to go out there looking for traffic, targeted traffic, people that, need this stuff, and they're going to bring them to your website. They're going to point them to your website. And before they even know what the name is, they are in your website. Okay? And before they even know what the name is, they are seeing exactly what they want to see at exactly the kind of price that they cannot beat. Oh, that's what I'm saying. So we are going to need those nice, fancy domain names as much as we can. But if it ain't there, don't sweat it too much. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, let me add something, and I didn't want to go there, but I'm going to go there. The domain name is for what you're going to do personally. Let me break it down the best I can. When the company goes to market for you, they are not marketing martydegarmo.com, jwoo.com, charlesosong.com. It doesn't even matter. What will happen, they will have many, if not thousands and thousands of web pages from independent things, from packages they're offering, thousands and thousands. And when it goes to somebody, targeted traffic says, I want a webinar service. OConnect will pop up, like Charles said. The guy says, I like it. He clicks it. And on the rotator in that page, it just so happens to be David Switzer. The guy fills in the thing, he pays, you made a commission. If the next person clicks on the same looking website and he clicks, he fills it out, but he doesn't pay, he's a tile kicker. That guy, sorry, is Charles Osong. So Charles got a click, he's got somebody that looked, but he didn't quite do anything. Now AI and the company is going to follow up with this gentleman with drip videos, with what they call autoresponders, and work on this person in the future. I keep reminding them, remember, you wanted this, you watched 20 seconds of a 2-minute video. Would you like to go back to that? Boom, yes. Next thing you know, maybe a week from now, maybe 2 weeks from now, the same person that clicked on Charles's that day decides, I am going to buy it. But in the meantime, Charles might have got 4 or 5 more people that did buy another product in Unpassive under Mr. Osong. Now, where the domain comes in, you, as it's running, this is all being done by the company. You decide that you want to run something, or you have your own business, or you want to do something personally. You put your domain out there, they will run traffic to that, and they'll be more likely that they know who you are. I'm going to tell you why I'm saying this. You will get thousands and more customers will come in than anything else. 99 to 1, maybe even more. The customers will have no idea who you are. None. They will not know who you are. And I'm going to tell you why. if it popped up and somebody said a name like a name that doesn't sound right, oh, I'm not joining under that person. The company doesn't want to put that in the option. The option is you're buying the material or the product because you like it, not because of the name of a person or the name of a domain. Now, this is my personal opinion. I'm going to double check with Ask because it doesn't make sense to do it any other way. They're going to go in, they're going to click, and they're going to go to a registration. I don't even think your name will be on the registration. You don't want to have that part of it. When I buy something from Amazon, there are affiliates in Amazon. I have bought through affiliates. I don't even know who they are. Why? Because if I have a problem with an item in there, I go to support, they fix the problem. I'm not going to Dave Switzer. You don't want them to go to Dave Switzer. I don't want them to go to Marty DeGarmo. That's where the company's going to do everything for you. So don't worry about the one half, because you're thinking, if my domain looks crazy and Marty's got a perfect domain, all the traffic is going to go to Marty. No, it's not. We're all going to get the same amount of traffic. It doesn't matter who we are. It doesn't matter what your name is. It doesn't matter if you're a handsome and gorgeous man like me or ugly like Chris. We're all going to get the same traffic. Okay?
Yeah,
So,
that's good enough.
No, I want people to know that because I keep hearing it and I want to double check. But the only way this could work to where the customer doesn't know who you are, they never know who you are. You're not going to be contacting customers. If we did that, we'd lose everybody we had. I do not want the guy that I bought a chair from Amazon calling me up and said, hey, you want to be a reseller? You know, that's not something we're going to be doing. But you can market outside of that with David DS Switcher or whatever you want to call it, or any name, dsdigital.com, and sell some of the items privately. Because why? You're a reseller. Big difference. There is a difference between the two. I hope I explained it well. And if
What you're saying,
got to come in and help.
What you're saying that when the company, when they introduce the traffic in there, they ain't going to care about your domain. They're just interested.
I don't believe they are. No.
Okay.
I do not believe they are.
All right. Because I think that's,
nobody's here going to be judged because they picked an ugly domain.
Okay. Because if they don't know how to do a domain, I think they ought to pick one out.
Well, I think you should pick a nice one and do one good for your business. What I'm saying is they're not going to use domains, thousands of them on a rotator, because it's not fair. Some people never did domains in their life. They're going to start the campaigns in the next 4 or 5 weeks. We heard that, right? You think everybody's going to have a domain name by then? Answer, no, because they don't need it. They don't need it to do what they're doing. There's 2 separate types of marketing. They're going to handle that one that we paid them to do. There might be a time in there where they might see whatever, but I don't think so, because it's not fair. Because you might not know how to pick a domain, that domain not be open. You might have some crazy long domain that nobody would click on, but they will click on what they ask for. When somebody goes on Google and they say, I'll give you an example. I think Charles sells cameras. They go on 35 millimeter camera. I don't even know if they sell them anymore, but they do it. And then boom, it pops in their face. And if you rank high, that's the first one you see. It's the top of the list. The guy clicks on it. Now he's hooked to you, Dave, for the rest of his life. Once he puts information in, he's yours for life. He may not buy today. He may not buy tomorrow. He may not just, but it's coming. So I hope I explained that as simple as I can, but it has to be that way. I can't imagine it being any other way, because I don't want somebody not to get a sale because he sounds from another country, let's say. It's not fair. And there's no way they can do that, because I know now the campaigns are going to start in 6, 7 weeks. Not everybody's going to have a domain in 6 or 7 weeks, guaranteed. Half of us won't. Anyway, that's all I got.
More than enough. I'm sure you covered it extensively.
Thank you, Marty. David, thank you so much for the question. Okay. This is where, again, everybody needs to know that we are all on the same level playing field. So please don't be concerned. Don't worry about these sort of things. The company is doing it for us, and they do have it in hand. So we're very, very fortunate in this regard. David Piggott from Australia, I'm just double checking. You did have your hand up. I'm not sure if you had to leave us for a reason or if you still want to ask your question. So I'm going to ask Marcienne to come forward first. And David, if you still want to ask a question, just pop your hand up and I'll take you next. So Marcienne, if you would like to unmute yourself. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Robbin. And first, I want to say that I attended this week 2 webinars, different from what I usually do. I attended the Bangladesh women webinar, and that was in their language. And I did attend also the Indian lady webinar, and it was really, really, really good. And they were really amazed to see somebody different from them in their webinar. And it's very good also, not because I attended, because our company is going to be taking us everywhere around the world. So now when I'm going to India, I have some people that I have seen in the webinar, and they might as well be my neighbor where I'm going to be located if I'm traveling around the world. So that's something that is very good for us too. And coming to my question, I'm still about the domain. If you have so many accounts, do we have to go to all our domain name every time and check what is going on? Or we just have to go there and get the residues that the company have done for us? That's my question.
You don't go to your domain name to get anything, Marcienne. You go to your back office, to virtual office to see the ching-chings are dropping, right? The domain is for the people that are coming to subscribe to those things that we're marketing. I don't know if that makes sense, right? So let's say you have one that says owmarcienne.com. You have another one that says hemambu.com, right? So you don't need to go to those domain names.
Okay.
You may want to, if you want to, you can, you don't have to, okay? You really don't have to. All you need to do is go to that virtual office, that back office, okay, that is attached to that domain name, and to see the activities, how much or how many clients you get or how much commission you have, okay? And then go to your wallet. If you want to withdraw, you withdraw. That's all.
Okay, that I get it. So that's why they say the company is doing everything for us, because I'm not a business person and I was a little bit concerned. What am I going to be doing?
Well,
okay,
we got
thank
your
you
back.
so
The
much.
company's got your back.
The company got my back. More
That's
assurance.
Right. That's right.
Thank you so much. That's it for me.
Wonderful. Thank you. Harry, if you would like to unmute yourself, please.
Okay, there we go. My computer's very slow.
And we can't hear you yet. There we go.
Okay, sorry, my computer's very slow. Okay, I've been O Network. I've been trying to post the last 3 days. I've been trying to post a comment or whatever. And I'm not the most creative person, something of value, but I typed last 3 days, I've typed in something and I hit post and it comes up timed out. So my post didn't go through. And I'm not too sure if that's because I'm not the fastest typer. Is that just with me, or is that just an issue that I don't know how much time you can use to post something, or just keep the O Founders open? So anyways, that's something I want to know. And then another issue is that in O Network, it's been, I guess, an issue throughout the thing, is you try to scroll through. And again, it's, I use the default, the big globe. And I think it's English is default. And I noticed that there's a lot of Arabic or whatever, so forgive me if that's what it is. And I noticed that going through the first 10 posts, 3 out of 10 were the same post. So it gets boring trying to go through it again. I know this is an issue that came up in the past for the last few weeks. And it gets boring, and I know on Monday, Ash spoke about that. And it's been an issue, and it is, it's like, okay, if you knock me off a whole network, that's fine, because it's the same stuff. You see the same posts over and over again. People are reposting the same thing. You have to scroll down so far to get actually to a post that is of true value.
Hey, Harry.
Yes.
Yeah, they're gonna clean all that up. And if people don't stop posting nonsense, their privilege of posting will be taken away. It hasn't happened yet, but it's going to, and you'll be able to post very soon. But for right now, they're gonna vacuum up the mess, because we can't get people to say hello, hi, yo, what's up, hey, and then for somebody sharing it 6 times of stuff that has no value. When people write, they should be putting stuff in that adds value to the person that's reading it. Hello, how are you? You are good, I am good, doesn't add value to squat, okay? So they were asked to stop. I believe some people never stop until you take the privilege away, but that's all gonna be cleaned up, and you'll be, it'll be the way it should be. Ask it on Monday.
What about the timing out, though?
The what?
It times out. I tried to post today, yesterday,
Well,
the day
what I'm trying to tell you, when it's all done and they get everything, you'll be fine. But I will bring it up the time,
because I don't want to lose O Network, because there's the fact is I want to post, but every time I try to post, it times out.
No, you'll be fine. When it's done, it'll be good.
Harry, it's still sorting itself out. And as Ash said, he is intentionally changing and cleaning up the back office. So there will be areas that will be spotty. There'll be areas that we will have access to one moment, not the next moment. It's all being sorted out. This is all pulling it together for the professional look for us, even though the public is not going to see any of this. This is our own back office. So he is pulling it together. All right. There'll be some good and bad moments there.
And the domain name thing, whoever brought it up, something that your heart is into it, even though it's not super important, but it gave me a lot of ideas because of stuff that is very important to me, because I was going to go harrybrechtschneider.com, and that's very hard to remember, right? It's not exactly the top domain name to choose, right? But I did think about some domain names that are really to my heart, my issue, and that includes the Philippines, right? That's my wife is Filipino, and so it's a very important issue for me. So, anyways, that's it. That's all I had to say.
Thanks, Harry. Thank you, Momodou. Thank you so much for being with us. Please unmute yourself.
Good evening, Miss Robbin Noble, and everybody else in this wonderful webinar. Thank you all for what you've done and you are still doing for us. My concern I have is some of us have our emails attached to our names, and sometimes you have both your first, middle, and last name to form the email. If I want to set up my domain name or website, am I going to use the present email I have now, or I should take the initial of the first, middle, and last name and form a domain name? How am I going to do it?
Okay, Mr. Momodu, those two things are independent of each other, right? So I have, for example, my email says charlesosong@gmail.com. Okay.
Yeah.
And when it comes time for my domain name, I can even say drinkingwater.com. I can say VPN or virtual private network.com. I can say whatever it is that I want to say. It doesn't have to be my email. It doesn't have to have even one character from my email. But if you want to use the same, it's up to you. Does that make sense?
Yes. And how about the website?
Yeah, the domain name is what opens your website. So you can use it interchangeably. That's what I'm saying. Okay. So I can, like I just said, helpingorphans.com. That's a domain name that I might be interested in, right? Helpingorphans.com. Now, my email is charlesosong.com. Has nothing to do with helpingorphans.com. When somebody goes to helpingorphans.com, then they will see whatever, all the stuff that we are selling, right? Or I can decide to use charlesosong.com. That's up to me. But they don't have to be the same. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. So if you have multiple accounts.
Right. If you have multiple accounts, that means you have to think about multiple domain names.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much for the answer you gave me. God bless you all.
You're very welcome.
Okay.
Thank you for being with us, Momodu. Good night.
You're welcome.
William, if you would like to unmute yourself, please.
And thank you, Robin. My question is, I know that we as founders will at some point become customers. I understand that. Okay, so people that join, people that purchase, become a customer. After that takes place, do they automatically become a member of ONPASSIVE? Is that an automatic thing that happens just because they became a customer?
Yes. So everybody is going to be a member. Remember that word member, that's important. But they're not going to be founders, right? They're not going to be resellers. So the customers, the resellers, and the founders, we are all members of ONPASSIVE. Okay.
Yeah, I had a member of my team that was asking that question, and I thought I was right. That's what I told him, but I wanted to make sure.
Yes, you are right. Very, very right.
Secondly, I have my LLC set up. So when it's time to set up our domain names, would I be able to use that as a domain name? Should I not, because it maybe don't relate to what I'm selling? So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know which way to go with that.
To me, like I say, it wouldn't really matter much, like Marty explained. Okay. Most of us, let me just say this. I think at least 95% of us are going to depend 100% on the AI targeted traffic. 95%. Now, if you're going to depend on that targeted traffic, you really shouldn't worry much about the name. The only people that are worrying about the names are people who have some other businesses, like Marty said, that they want the one that name to be intuitive, right? So let's say you have a bookstore and you're selling spiritual books, for example. Okay. So you may want to say spiritualbooks.com, and then you drive traffic there because you want that name to be intuitive. Are you with me? Now, if we are depending on the business that ONPASSIVE is building for us, which I think most of us are going to be depending on, you shouldn't worry too much about the domain name aligning with what you're selling.
That was it.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, sir.
Perfect. So now we have an Ask Mrs. Saima Shima to please unmute yourself. Hello, and thank you for joining us.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, how are you, Robin?
Good, thank you. It's the first time you're with us on this webinar. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, I enjoy any too much webinar and your webinar every time. And Chris Johnson, I'm enjoying her his webinar every time. Chris Johnson, webinar. And I'm living in New York, Queens. I'm from Bangladesh. I have I have a little group. Which group give me founders? Its name is Our Dream Will Be Reality, and I have one more group. Its name is Super Positive on Bangladesh. This is with Rabbani. You know her. So I'm so glad to hear and you join me here. I just said this thing is for my love with on passive. You know, we give this 97, but what I take from here, guys, from you guys is knowledge I'm taking from here and how I enjoy here. So it is nothing. If I pay every month $1,000, it's not enough for this thing. This is not enough. $1,000 is not enough. What I taking from this on passive, how much give me peace. On passive give me peace, and I feel happy, so happy when I join webinar. If one day I'm not going any webinar, you know, I feel getting how I feel. I can say you. I feel my pressure going up like this. And full time, and if as a webinar, I am in the end of full time, 8 hours, 6 hours, it's 9 hours. I am every time I'm in webinar. That's why I'm saying we give 97, it's not nothing. How we take from there our knowledge. This is too much, too much. And this give us speech and feel free, fresh, everything. And here is nothing, not nothing. Here is in color, in country, in religion, nothing here. Everybody say peace thing, peace speech, and it's make humanity is feel yes, I am not only women. I feel I am human. I feel like this. And thank you so much. Give me here a chance. Thank you so much, everybody. And good night. Have a good night.
Thank you so much for being with us, and thank you so much for talking tonight. Yes, unity and being together. That's what we were wanting to talk about tonight. Thank you. Jay Woo, nice to see you back again.
Thank you, Seema. It was great hearing from you tonight. Thanks for sharing those warm thoughts. I'm back because Chris, I had a question I forgot. Chris said I should come back and ask my question.
Of course.
I have domain names that I've reserved to use for my ONPASSIVE business. Does anyone know? They're not in use, they're just owned by me, but will there be any difficulty at that point in time to port those domain names over to the ONPASSIVE service for use, servers for use?
Absolutely not.
Okay, great. Then I'm all set. Thank you.
Excellent, thank you. William DeLorme, would you like to unmute yourself, please? Thank you for waiting.
Yes, hello. Hi, Brahman, and hi, Marty, and everybody else. I do attend different webinars like Arabic, India, Bangladesh. I usually like to go and see the presentations, and sometimes you get little nuggets from them, which is a good idea. But I can imagine what OConnect is going to do for us. Really, that is going to be really amazing. So right now I have a question for the domain names that we choose. The ones you have different positions. So every position, the company will generate some domain names that you can use. So maybe you don't like them that much, but can you like tweak them? Like Marty says, go on Google and take that name and have other suggestions?
Yeah, but William, here's what's up. The company is not going to generate domains for you. What happens is you suggest a domain. If it's not available, then they will pop up 1, 2, or 3 domains that you can have that are available. You do not have to pick those domains. You don't have to pick any of the domains. It's just an option. So if you put in williamdelone.com and it said, sorry, that's not available, and it said, but you can have williamdelone101.com, or you can have williamdelone.info, or you can have williamdelone.ai, and you can pick one of those if you want. But if you don't like them, you can go start from scratch and try another one.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying, Marty, the ones that are generated that said that one is not available, or
no, the ones that are generated are available.
Oh,
the only reason they're generating is because the one you picked isn't available.
Oh, I see.
So you go in, you just like GoDaddy, it's no difference. You go in, you put in a domain, and if it's not available, automatically it generates another domain, something like you said, that you can have because it is available.
Oh, so a good idea for every position to run a portfolio on Google so you can pick one you sort of like.
Yeah, I had in fact, I picked domains already that because I do market, and I picked some that I liked a long time ago, and I'm just gonna transfer them over to ONPASSIVE.
So that's the way to go.
Yeah, because I know it's available. I already own it. Because keep in mind, I had people think, well, there's a domain out there, GoDaddy, I want it. So when I go into ONPASSIVE, I'm going to pick that domain. If it's not available in GoDaddy, it's not available in ONPASSIVE. They all work off the same thing. Available to the world, that's it. They're not making, you don't get the same option because we belong to ONPASSIVE. The only difference is ONPASSIVE, part of the package is you don't have to pay for it every year.
Okay, that's makes more sense.
Unless you're like Wanda, you want to go ahead and pay for it and keep it, right? That's what she did.
No, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, there's going to be plenty of domain names available, so I wouldn't worry too much. I haven't even picked any. See, Marty is ahead of the game. I'm not. I'm a last minute person, so.
Well, if I had your team, I wouldn't do it either. Does that help you, William? Anything else?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. Bruce, if you would like to unmute yourself, please.
I'd be more than happy to, Robbin. Thank you. I was just thinking, we have 2 beautiful voices here tonight. I think you should knock me out. That's you, Robbin, and Jabu. I love both your voices. I would buy anything from you guys. But it's wonderful to hear your voices.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, I had a couple of things. One thing I know is what's important, because I know what happened last Saturday. We had 3 seminars that were almost back to back on top of one another. And I said to someone, we need to coordinate this. We need to work with each other. And I'm glad that Marty and Charles brought that up, because this is about unity. And if we all don't row this, if you're in a boat together and you don't row in the same direction, your boat will capsize. So it's very important to remember that cooperation has to be important. We have to coordinate and cooperate with each other. And I believe in you and me. I had a thing where I was working with a person from Nigeria, and I sent him to a bunch of places, and he really wanted to do something, but he had to get some money together first, and I let him go. And he called me the other day, and I sent him some more information. He said, he put in a message, I'm a founder. And I said, really? How did you? And so I looked to see if I got a notification, and there was none. And I said, who brought you in? And he said, I don't know. And I said, well, have you gone to your back office? I said, that's whoever went in. Show me your back office. He said, no. He never, I don't know who it is. So, I thought to myself, well, I've lost a guy for myself, but he's still somebody who needs help. And rather than thinking, well, this shouldn't have happened and go into all that stuff, I just said, let me show you. I had him, I suggested he come here today too. And I suggested other seminars, webinars for him, because this is about helping people become successful and believe in Unpassive. And regardless of whether they're on your team or they're not, we're all the same team. This is just Unpassive. So that's very important for us to remember, because there should be no kind of competition for when your seminar is or how many people are in your seminar. It doesn't matter. What matters is that people are there and people are learning and people are getting together and uniting in joy and happiness, which we have.
Well said. Well said, Bruce.
It's not a question also. When it comes to the .coms, do you think that AI eventually will become like .com? I think that'd be a question. Remember, Marty or Charles, or will it be separate?
So it's because of how long the .com has been in existence. It's gonna be hard to catch up, but it's gonna get popular. It's kind of like asking, say, creating a cryptocurrency today, and you're thinking it's gonna become like Bitcoin, right? It's not gonna be like Bitcoin. It's just gonna be popular also, right? So AI is gonna make waves because very soon almost all the .coms will be gone. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna have .info, .ai, it's gonna be available. So it will eventually at some point.
Great, that's yeah. I really, like I said before, I always say I appreciate you guys. I do. I love you guys a lot. I've been to, I don't know how many seminars, how many languages this past month, this past week. I get exhausted. I don't know how you guys do it all the time, but I guess because of my condition, I get tired. And so I found that one seminar I went to today, I had to get off of it because there were some things going on there that started becoming religious. And I felt like I don't really need to be here because it wasn't what my stick is. But I don't get into somebody's face and say that's wrong. I just move away because that's what I think we can do rather than get into somebody's face. Always move away from a complex rather than jump into it. That keeps us unified. So thanks, Robbin.
So thank you. Thank you, Bruce, for being with us this evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Jambo, Kenya, Gladys, please unmute yourself.
Hi, good evening, Robbin, Elsie, and all the founders here. Can you hear me well?
Very well, thank you.
Good to see everybody. Robbin, just to be clear, in North Carolina, but I'm from Kenya. As they say, you can take the girl from Kenya, but you cannot take Kenya out of the girl.
Absolutely.
I'm here today and I would like to comment something. Thank you for the discussion that you had today, Charles, Marty, Chris, you, and the other leaders who have spoken. And I'm going to say something about the issue of culture. I think cultural sensitivity is very key, especially in ONPASSIVE. Being that this is a global business in 212 countries, and Ash as the visionary, he loves culture. I remember the first call that I made to him in 2018 to find out about the business. He was more interested about culture. He asked me about the food that we eat, the culture in the state where I lived, how do I like it versus, you know, we were in Florida by then, we had taken the kids there for vacation. So he's somebody who is really embracing culture. If he wanted to create a business for only the US without involving other cultures, he could do it. But he made it global because he knew that the founders will be coming from many countries all over the world. So I think it's upon us to embrace each other, to try to understand one another. I have attended webinars, the Bangladesh, the Indian, PNG, the French, and always there is something that we learn from other cultures, even when you don't understand the language. I find it very uplifting. There's always something for me to comment about that I find that is very, very positive. So as we love one another in ONPASSIVE, I hope that this is a beginning of a new era today, that we may try to be more culturally sensitive and try to bring each other together. That's the only way that we're going to accomplish the vision of Ashwin Fare, of being able to work around the world together as one family, and that's one family which is ONPASSIVE. It doesn't matter where you come from, religion doesn't matter, education doesn't matter, language doesn't matter, your country doesn't matter. We are one, and that's my prayer today, and I hope that we will be able to start afresh today, hit the reset button, and move on. Thank you very much.
Beautifully said, Gladys. Thank you so much. Thank you for being with us tonight, and thank you for that message. Musharraf Hussain, if you would like to unmute yourself, please, and join us.
Yeah, hi everyone. Hi Robin and Grace. Everyone, I'm really very happy to that I'll come to your problem because today morning I just came out. I'm going outside and I just seen your back office, so I'll connect it. And I'll have some few questions, Robin. So if you say, because I'll have four questions. So is it possible to, I'll just explain it?
We will take them one at a time. Yes, please.
Yeah, thank you very much. The first one for the questions is like physical product and the digital tools are, is it run together after launching? Is it like that? Because physical product as say before launching, we are gave some option to their sellout. So it's like that and after launching, hard launch, they get to it's together, it will be run out in our platform. It's like that.
I know that we will be getting more information about the physical products. At the moment, we've just been told that they exist, that they are part of the ONPASSIVE opportunity to be selling, but we don't have more details than that at the moment. So I think it will be coming soon. So we will be patient and wait to hear more from our CEO. Anybody else want to ask anything, answer, or add anything?
Yeah, definitely. And that one more thing.
Yes, please,
just
go
like
ahead.
actually, yeah, there's some person, they have a create a more ID, like a 10 to 15 ID, they'll take it, and they want to know about that because in a one name, that particular ID run in a one domain is like that, or like all a different name. And after launching, the all a different name, the ID will be run because one ID, one person, the same name, it's run like same name or like a different mail ID. It's running to that domain in the marketing campaign.
Okay, so Mofara, so I'm going to take myself for example, okay?
Yeah,
my name is Charles Osong, and let's say I have 15 IDs, like you say.
Yeah.
All of them in my profile, it says Charles Osong. each one of them. Charles Osong, 15 of them, okay? Each ID or each account, as we call it, when we launch, is going to have a domain name that is not Charles. So the domain name is different from the name that is in your back office. Are you with me? So when we launch, each ID, you assign a domain name to that ID, which is different because you cannot have more than one domain name. However, all of them belong to Charles Osong, so it doesn't really matter. Make sense? Musharraf?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
And this is the last it's like questions that that's a physical product, and if it is possible to sell founder individually or different product, it's a different platform. I'm sorry, it's a different platform. The physical product, if it is come to before hard launch, it's like that. So is it possible to we are selling that physical product to a different platform? Is it possible? Because some few explains this as also in a webinar. Before launching, we are showing you that some few physical products come to our platform, but it's selling to our founders also. It's like that. It's in a founders or it's out of the ONPASSIVE platform.
It is possible.
So Musharraf, again,
we do not know.
Sorry, Marty, go ahead.
Yeah, it's possible, but we do not know. We do not know all the details. We do know that he had a minimum of 31 physical products. We know these products are in high demand now, and we must assume that they're in high demand. They will be at a better value and a higher technology, so there won't be any competition. Where they'll be, what platform they'll be from, I'm not sure, but it sounds as if that revenue will be shared from these things. So I would assume they could be on the same platform, but some of the details that people ask, they don't know. The reason you don't know is because we don't know. Nobody knows except Ashman Farah.
Okay, Marty, thank you very much for the information. And Robin, there's a last question. I can continue that, please.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Robin, there's we are running like in India, our ONPASSIVE Founder Club. It's like a training basis and so many platforms. I just explained it because it's a training purpose. We give the knowledge to our new founder, those who doesn't know about that technology and that this thing. So we create a trainer from our platform, and we give the proper information to that how to use this ONPASSIVE tools, and that how to do this business. If you want to in the future, you want to do a business rather on one platform, this is a ONPASSIVE. So that information we are providing, and we are create a trainer to train people to how to do this. Okay, basically, and the important thing, if it is possible, that's we are running out in India, like educations also. My family, there's all the person, they are connected to the ONPASSIVE, and we are training through that. Like we are provide the education in India. So it's a free of cost, we are trained. And after launching, if it's possible to O Academy, it's 8 to 10 in standard. Like a student, they are connect and take education is like that in O Academy, because it's a very important for us. We are already connected so many children to take education is like that, because higher education, I know that's a higher education will take from there. There's so many options, so many categories over there. So is it possible to that like a junior person, those who are not afford to go to school, so we are helping from there, our platform, to we want to this option categories, because I'm really very sometimes will be confused with that Is it one platform is OCAB? We will take some education for the different sector. Is it possible? Please explain me. Thank you.
So Musharraf, there's going to be different sections in Academy, and there will be a criteria that if you are offering an actual educational platform that is giving grades and giving advancement in the education systems of the different countries, that you will have to probably fill out and complete prerequisite information for this before you can offer them. So again, this is information that will be coming very shortly as we're moving forward. But the platform is there. And if you do have the educational background, as you're saying, and you have something there to help other students with, definitely keep an eye out, keep an ear open for more information on the Academy platform, because more information will be coming on this all the time. The other thing to remember, though, is sometimes you won't necessarily hear about it in a webinar to begin with, but you may see it in the back office, or you might see it, not the back office, on ONPASSIVE.com, because the tech team are updating that website, which is our website, when we go to the back office to use link number 49. So a lot of information will be updated there first and foremost, because that is the public website for everybody. And that is what can be shared with prospects, with friends, with other businesses, so that they understand what ONPASSIVE platforms are available for their use as well. And then within that link, that's where the joining or become a founder link opens up to your specific registration. So continue to watch, in your case specifically, the Academy, because there will be more information posted there, and the Q&A that goes with that is also very informative and updated frequently as well. Hope that helps you.
Yeah, Robin, thank you very much. Actually, Robin, that's,
Musharraf, thank you very much for being with us this evening.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Robin. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. Brenda, thank you for your patience. If you would like to unmute, please.
Hello?
Hi, Brenda.
Hey, Robin. My question is related to captured. I was wondering if somebody can define what it means to be captured. I understand link number 49, and when you send that out and someone registers under you, then they've been captured. But there seems to be some AI stuff on OTRIM that I have yet to figure out. So one example that I have is on Twitter. Someone posted a YouTube link to a music video, basically, let's call it. So I renamed it something that was appropriate. So people, it wasn't like X2345228ZY. So I renamed it, and then I sent it out just to make it easier for people. And so that they could see, maybe some of them might think, oh, where did that come from? And so if somebody clicked on that, I don't know if that comes back to me or not. So that's one question. And then I also, when I was trying to figure this out, I was on Marty's website and also Red's, and they have OTRIM links there. So I clicked on both of those. And when I clicked on Red's, I had a number of OFounder web pages open and on passive, and I get drops on my computer. So I had like maybe 10 basically websites open to OFounders and on passive. And then I started closing them. And whenever I close them, now my these websites, instead of it being my name, it was now Redford. And so I thought it was interesting that, like, I'd clicked on his link maybe once or twice, but now as I was closing these, his name was populated. Like, I didn't think it was going to end, to be honest with you, last night. So I'm just kind of getting the sense of how this works. And I also was on a call. I've been on a number of calls trying to get the answer to, I have someone that is interested in signing up or transferring his free conference call over to OConnect or Ocademy. And right now he has about 1,000 people on the call. So I understand that if he has the link, like once he signs up as a founder, and then he'll have link number 49. And so when he does his call on Sunday night, he can share that. Some people will sign up, but everyone can come in for free and listen to him on OConnect is what I understand. So I'm kind of got a lot of questions going on. Maybe somebody can define what it means to capture. The call that I was on with Julia and Milo, I think that one was yesterday. I don't know. Can somebody kind of unjumble my mess?
I'm not sure the context when you say capture. And unfortunately, I was not on Julie and Milo, and Julie's not with us tonight. So I would suggest your best bet, Brenda, would probably be to go back to Julie and see if she can put the context to that.
I wonder if Marty, Robbin.
Unless you can give a little bit more of it.
No, I think I can help you, but I'm not sure what you mean by capture. I don't know what you mean.
Peter used that term.
Huh?
And so did Peter used that term, Marty, and so did Milo. So my understanding is they said when someone registers their name, and I'm not sure what the second thing was.
CAPTCHA. I think you're trying to say CAPTCHA, right, Brenda?
I'm sorry,
CAPTCHA?
Chris?
I think you're trying to say CAPTCHA.
Okay, CAPTCHA. I don't, it could be Chris. I thought it was captured.
Oh, CAPTCHA.
But could be
Okay.
CAPTCHA.
Do you remember, Brenda, when a month ago, 2 months ago, that when you logged in, you would put your email, your password, and you had to fill out these funny little either different letters, different whatever. That's CAPTCHA. That has been removed, so we no longer use that if that's what they're talking about. It's a security thing, so that after you put your name and your email in, you would put in the CAPTCHA. The CAPTCHA would be on the left, and it might be an L, a Z, a 1, an A, a W, and you put it in just like that. It knows it's not a robot because a robot can't do that. And then when you log in, it's okay. They got rid of CAPTCHA and made it so that we have the one-time code that we get. But that might not be it. The other thing it could be is one of the products, which is OCapture, which is OCreate. Go look, if you go looking on ONPASSIVE.com, it'll tell you all the products that we're going to have soon. It might be there, but I'm not sure what you mean. Julie is here now. Maybe she knows. Julie, do you know?
Hi, Marty. Hi, Brenda. I literally just jumped on and I heard Julie and Milo. I wasn't sure what you were asking. I'm sorry, Brenda. If you could please.
Hey, Julie. Hi. Yesterday on your call, I was trying to get clarification for someone that's interested in becoming a founder. And so he's got 1,000 people who listen to his call. So he wanted to know if, just to refresh your memory, if he signed up with and he would use OConnect or Ocademy, then his 1,000 people that come on free conference calling now could come over and use that platform for free. Do you remember that?
I remember that question, yes.
Okay, so then that was step one. And then Peter and Milo kept going back to, that was small because, there's 1.2 million founders that are potential upside for his business. And so Peter said that See, the link number 49 is generated. And so he could send that link out to the 1,000 people who come on his call. And so then to build his business, some of those 1,000 people would sign up under him. And so Peter referred to it as I thought he said captured. And then he said something like, they're captured forever, or, so once they, and someone referred to it on this call, is even if they don't sign up, I think it may have been Marty, even if they don't sign up, then, they're basically on a marketing campaign. So eventually they will be captured. Does that ring any?
So this is more of a technical question to explain, to understand it. I think what they meant yesterday is capturing people information in terms of, let's say, okay, so link number 49, you said. Every time when I go on link number 49, right? My link number 49, or I go on to YouTube. Let's say I'm using ONPASSIVE YouTube, right? And I saw there's a link on there and I clicked on it. It's someone else's link number 49, right? So then I go on to another video and I click on the link. It pop up someone else's name. It's not always mine. It's basically, and I'm not a tech person to ask me to explain that, but I hope Charles here or anyone that understood about AI could explain to Brenda a little bit. So every single time I go on to unpassive.com, it pops up, I become a founder and I clicked on it. It's different day every time. So what I understood in my mind is that artificial intelligence have already, I don't know how to explain it, but it has already captured whatever that I put it out there or whatever that it's out there. And every time when it goes on, it's another person. Now go back to your question on using OConnect. Let's say this gentleman is using OConnect and then have 1,000 of his people coming in. 1,000 his people coming in will eventually be captured by ONPASSIVE AI, and ONPASSIVE will eventually coming back to them with products. That's how AI works, right? I'm not a tech person to be able to explain it to you, but
let me help her.
Marty,
I know now what she wants.
There you go.
Everybody in ONPASSIVE, every founder has a link 49. It's linked to you. It's coded to you. Right. If you share that link with somebody and they look at all the information, say, you know what? I want to be a founder. And they go to the button that says founder, your registration will be there. They will sign up. They will be on your team. I wasn't at the call yesterday, but I'm going to tell you what I think they were telling you. When OConnect is running and this gentleman is a founder and he decides to have a webinar on OConnect and invite his 1,000 people, if all the people, when they come to sign up to his webinar, put in their name and email, they are hooked to him, they are captured, their email and password is captured, and they are hooked to that gentleman for life. Now, whether they buy anything or they don't buy anything, or they buy something 6 months from now, or they buy something 2 years from now, that email and that person is linked to that gentleman. That's the power of ONPASSIVE, any product we use. So yes, if he gets in and he shares ONPASSIVE, he shares OConnect, and they put their name and email in, boom. They'll go to the webinar, they'll watch what he has to say, and the company, because of the technologies, knows that those 1,000 people, all their names, all their emails are now linked to that gentleman. If they buy something later, and through AI, slowly will be dripped or introduced to something in ONPASSIVE.
Okay, thank you for that explanation. Okay, Marty, so carrying along on that sort of, and I'm not sure if it's really let's go to the Redfern question next. So I was just kind of mooching around trying to figure this out. So I went to your website and I clicked on OTREM.
Wait a minute. You went to my website.
Yeah, on Nation, I think it is.
On Passive Nation, yeah. But I don't know what you mean. You went to my Facebook group?
Oh, I went to your YouTube channel. Sorry,
Oh,
let me.
okay. Yeah, okay. You
Yeah.
went to my YouTube channel, yeah.
And O Nation, and then there was 2 links, OTRIM, and I think it said Tuesday, and OTRIM Saturday.
Okay. OTRIM Tuesday and OTRIM Saturday are links to set up people if they want to come to a guest webinar.
Okay.
The
So then I
OTRIM
went-
is because I wanted to make it short and I wanted to track how many clicked on the one going Tuesday and how many people clicked on the one going to Saturday. That's all they are. It's the trim shortener, the URL shortener that I use because I didn't want this big ugly URL or whatever, so I made a short one. That's all they are. They are to, if people want to go to Tuesday or Saturday, it will say you had 10 people go to Tuesday and you had 40 people go to Saturday. That's all. It's just, and it's a link. And yes, when they go, I had them hooked to the web pages in the back office. If they go and they liked what they saw and they sign up, they'll click the button that says founder, and that founder would be to me.
Okay. And that makes sense to me. And so then I went over to Red's YouTube channel.
Okay.
And I clicked on his OTRIM link.
Yes.
And then I had a number of windows open on my computer.
Okay.
And so, and I had my links opened, and I had someone that's under me. I think I had 1 or 2 of his links open as well. And then I started closing them down because I just had way too many windows open. And my whole computer almost turned to Redfern. So I had maybe, I don't know, maybe 5 windows open or 3 windows open that was to me. And then why was that happening? It was almost like his, like it was populating my computer with his link.
No. What happened was you had a bunch of tabs open and there's things called cookies, which are little gremlins that go out and gather information for you to make it easier for you to search. If you shut down and clear out your history, you will no longer see Redford's links anywhere.
Okay. Now, the last question I have is, so on my Twitter account, somebody put out a link and it was, basically XYZ, the really long link. So just to make it easier for people so that they would know what that link was for, I took it to OTRIM and shortened it. So it'd be specific to identify with in the future. Now, is there any benefit to me doing that, or other than just
you did it for somebody else's link?
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that. It's no benefit to you at all.
Okay.
Only do it for your links. You want to track your links. You want to make your links. If you take their link and do it, it does nothing for you. Nothing.
Okay.
Or
Other than
them.
somebody, yeah, other than somebody might say, how did she do that? But
No, they won't even see it unless you give it to them. If you shorten the link, what are you going to do with it? You have to hand it to somebody.
Oh, no, then it's retweeted out. Because it's on Twitter.
All you did, let me give you an example. If I went to you sent me something, a link, a long link, and I shortened that link. Doesn't do anything for you or me.
Okay, I just wanted to get clarification.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, that it does nothing for nobody. Now, if it was your link and you were sending it to me to make it look nicer, you would shorten it in your back office. You'd take your link, you'd shorten it in your back office, then you would send it to me, and I see this short link called BrendaHaig.ai. I click on it, and it's the page that you want me to see. And in your back office, if you click on that shortener that you made, it will tell you that some guy in New Jersey clicked on your link.
Okay.
It's a tracker, a tracker, and it's a shortener at the same time.
Okay. So we're really not captured to somebody's page until they've registered with their
They
name.
have,
and email.
they have to put their name and email in, and then they are pending customer or a pending reseller, but until they pay, that's all they are.
So the technical name for that is opt-in.
Yeah, they opted in.
No, they
I'm
opt in.
a king of getting opt-ins. When you become a king of sales, that's what matters. And the company will do that very well for all of us.
Okay. All right.
Because
Thank you.
listen, no matter how many people go to your site, nobody in the world can make them pay. But if they go and they're looking, which targeted traffic is, untargeted traffic means anybody can come click on your site, anybody. And if you have that happen, usually, like for Google, for example, if anybody just clicks on it, every time they click on it, the person that owns the site has to pay money. That's untargeted traffic. But if you have targeted traffic, there's a real good chance if you're selling bottles that they're looking for bottles. That's targeted. They're looking for something that they're clicking on instead of just a click. My granddaughter she's 5 years old. She has a little kid's iPad or whatever. One day she was playing on it. She wanted me to help her with something. I flipped it over and a commercial came up to sell Chevy trucks. Now, I don't know about you, but my 5-year-old granddaughter, I doubt very much is going to buy a Chevy truck. But Chevy or whoever paid for that ad got charged for that ad showing up. That's not a targeted ad. That's not targeted traffic. That's the difference. Targeted is, I go online, I go to Google and I say, I would like to look at the new Chevy trucks. On passive, if they made trucks, they pop it right up in front of his face. Then they say, okay, I want to know what the features are. All the features in ONPASSIVE are number one. Okay, I want value. It's the cheapest truck in the planet. The guy buys it, you get a sale. The difference is what they're buying it on passive is a monthly bill. So every month you get paid from that guy that bought that truck. Every month. That's where the residual income comes from. That's how most of you and all of us in the future are going to do very well.
Okay. Can I ask one more question that just popped in? If I'm signing someone up, like this fellow that I was referring to that has conference calls, am I better to sign him up directly under me, or can I sign him up under someone that signed up under me and they need a third person?
No,
And
don't worry about getting anybody free. Always sign up everybody. This goes to everyone. Sign up everyone you can personally. Do not put them under anyone. Never. My opinion. Charles might think different, but I doubt it very much. The company's going to build under everybody you bring in. So you go wide, let the company go deep. And I'll tell you another reason why. Somewhere with personal sales, either a reseller or at this point, a founder or a customer, you're going to hit a number. I don't know what that number is. It used to be 125. The company gives you 3 positions for free. That's where infinity comes in. That's where you start making money many levels down. I probably shouldn't have gone there because I just saw a lot of looks on your face like, what the freak did he just say?
You just open a can of worms, Marty.
Yes, I did.
We're never gonna get out of here tonight.
We're never getting out of here tonight. No, but anyway, let me make it easy. Just always go wide.
And
put people in personally. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. So
Brenda, thank you. Brenda, if I may, I'm just going to ask you to hold your next question. I'm going to take the next 2 people with their hands up, and if you still have it, then we will come back to you, if that's all right. We're going to be winding down now. So the next person, please, is Akram. If you would like to unmute.
Thank you very much, Robbin, and very good evening, and also all the great leaders in front of me, and also beautiful all founder members. Assalamu alaikum. I'm from Bangladesh and I'm listening very carefully. Here is Marty, Charles, Chris, Robin, and ladies. So everyone are giving a speech very nicely and some motivational, and also there have some information. It's really amazing. Actually, I would like to add something here also there. Um, we know that at this moment, I would like to message, especially in Bangladesh, India, and also through your webinar to all the other part of the world. At this moment, we have 1.2 million founder members at this moment, but we need actually quality founders right moment. So there need also more participate in the webinars in the whole world. They gave the opportunity because there have the day night difference everywhere. So this time we need actually quality founders, because still we know that most of the founders they have taken the foundership, but they don't participate the webinars. So for that reason, they don't actually not educated. They don't know the about the on-passive beauty and what is the right understanding about the on-passive, because some of them they are thinking that it's if they more showed up and then they will get more earned, but this is not the right things. Because if you just learn and then if you participate and then you will understand that about the on passive and what is your business and each and everything. I would like to add also about the domain, because I also agree with Charles Awesome, because you know that at this moment .com it's not available for the for your right choice of domain name. So at this moment it is the best way AI to our AI, and if you can choose your right domain, and that will be the small, because if your domain name is the long sentence, that will not get the market, and also you will not get the perfect traffic for your business. So that's why you have to understand that what actually you need that for your business. So if you are if you want to earn, if I like to say that if you want to earn more, so if you are a digital marketer, so you can do also lot of things. You can do the business because you will more business. As a founder, you can earn. At the same time, as a digital marketer, you can also earn from this platform. So don't need to actually more shine or more talk in each and everything. Just you have to participate, and if you continue participate to our back office, that you will learn many things. There are many things there have. So we should firstly we have to check every day minimum 1 times our back office, then we can actually get more knowledge. And then if we get actually some question, then we can do also in the webinar, we can get the answer from the webinar. So actually this way, if we can practice that, next time I think we will be the quality founder, because we need at this moment quality founders. So we don't need actually more founders, need quality founders. So far I think that. So thank you very much.
Akram, thank you for the reminder. Thank you for the way you presented that. I would just like to say, when you say quality founders, I would just like to maybe put a little gentler tone to it. A founder is a founder. Everybody has come in and they will win because they are part of ONPASSIVE. I think we have to take back the responsibility also to the people, the sponsors, the people who brought these people in. And so that is where they will help somebody who might not be as informed to become more informed about ONPASSIVE as well. So if somebody is not getting that information from their upline, from their sponsor, from the person who shared and spoke to them to bring them in, I think they need to make their own steps to learn more. And that is where these webinars and founder leaders And everybody here is a founder leader, steps up to help them in any country, in any area. And I think that will also help to make the circle around the world more connected and more together. So we have wonderful founders. We have some that are more informed than others. And I think it is everybody's responsibility to help each other to make this move forward. Because remember, as we get to the global launch, as we're moving through these next platform trainings and information, we can truly only move as fast as the slowest person who understands, or as fast as the slowest person is able to do something that is necessary to make sure that the next step happens. So the founders do have a responsibility to each other, themselves, and their teams. And I think this is something that people are waking up to and realizing that they can do a lot more by helping each other. So thank you very much, Akram. And now, Brenda, I will come back to you. Thierry, you are our last one tonight, and then we will close it down after Thierry. So Brenda, please come back with your questions. Brenda, you're still muted. Please unmute. There you are.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Yes, no, thank you. I'm clear now. So they have to volunteer their name and email address, and then they're connected to you forever, even if they haven't paid, they're considered pending. And so now for my fellow that runs these free conference calls, in order for them to participate in his OConnect webinar, do they have to give their name and email address?
Yes, he would be sending out a link when he's doing this through the platforms within ONPASSIVE. They would be registering maybe, or certainly accepting the invitation that he would be sending out to these people. And in doing so, they would then be connected to this person who would most likely be a founder or a reseller at that point.
Yeah, ideally a founder.
Yeah, so they would be connected to him. So at any other point when they would start to look at the platforms and look and see what they are interested in, automatically they would be remembered by the system and it would start with them.
Okay, I got it. Thank you. That cleared up a lot of mumble jumble that was going around in my head.
Wonderful. That's what we try and do. We try to clear out the mumbo jumbo here. Thanks, Brenda. Thank you for your questions and breaking a good conversation with the panel tonight.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. You guys devote a lot of time. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you on behalf of all of us. You're welcome. Thierry, bonsoir. Good evening from France, my friend. It's been a while. How are you and what are your questions or your comments, please?
Bonsoir, Robin. Bonsoir, everybody. I just have a short question, but just before the question, I just saw that my Hotmail message didn't go to your Hotmail. So I will send you the translation from my Gmail after that.
Thank you, Thierry. Thank you very much.
I had a question on my Q&A this afternoon. I was not able to answer, even if I did. Do we have any idea if it will be possible to upgrade for the traffic for the booster traffic? Will it be possible in the month or by period? Do we know already that?
No, we don't know that yet.
I'm not sure. Say it again.
He's talking about the extra traffic you can buy, Marty.
Yeah, the extra traffic. For example, at the beginning of the month, I don't have the $500 or the $1,000 to buy the extra traffic. I only have the $300 for the basic package for the starting package. Will I be able to upgrade in the month, or will I have to wait the month after to buy the extra traffic?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't think we'll be able to buy any traffic during the beginning of the campaign, but as time goes on, we'll be able to pay it. Does it have to be paid monthly? In other words, you're right. You don't have it on the first of the month. You have it on the 15th. You have to wait till the 30th again, or I don't know.
So
I'm not sure.
Everything is work in progress. I had mentioned, okay, that we're going to have the ability to dedicate a certain percentage of our earnings to go to extra traffic. Okay.
Yes.
So every time you get that extra, it could be, some people will get it faster than others because of the volume, right? So, but once you get that extra for somebody, it could be every 2 days. For somebody, it could be 5 days. Someone else, it could be 10 days, depending on your volume, and it will just automatically get it from whatever it is you choose, 10% or 5%, whatever it is that you choose. But of course, that can change. So we just have to wait a little bit, and more things will become clearer as we get closer to the launch.
Exactly. But and his question also is, if he had the money, if he didn't have money on the beginning of the campaign, and halfway through the month he has the money for the first package, whatever that happens to be, does he pay then and it start then, or
So
does
from
it
what I
start on the
understand,
first?
I get that part. So from what I understand, we're actually trying to do it. He doesn't want us to buy extra traffic from our pockets. The extra traffic is going to have to come from commissions. That's what I understand.
Yeah, but for the initial activation, for example, if we start the 1st of September, the people who won't have the money on the 1st of September will have to wait for the 1st of October to pay the 300 for the activation, or do they can they start on the 15, on the 10, or on the 20 of the month?
They can start any day. They can
Okay.
start. They can start anytime.
Oh yeah, any day. I didn't know what you meant. Yeah,
One day, 2 days, 10 days, doesn't matter.
Monday,
as
Tuesday,
soon as they
Wednesday,
get the
Thursday.
money, right?
Yeah.
Their goal should be get the money as soon as possible and then get started.
Yeah, there's no delay. Your beginning is your beginning. Doesn't matter when.
Exactly.
Thank you.
By the way, you're looking good. I hardly recognize you. Got your hair cut. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I got Ella was bringing me to the haircut 2 weeks ago from now. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. I will do the listing of the webinars for today just now.
That's right. You're looking good, man. Looking good.
Thank you, Marty.
So thank you, everybody.
The apples will drop soon, so look good.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you all. Have a good evening.
All right.
Thank you, everybody. This has been a wonderful, wonderful evening yet again, with so much that we've learned, all of you with your messages and your comments. I would like to leave you with a story that happened to me when I was on the cruise ships. And I would like you to understand it in a way that it'll be interesting to see the reactions on the faces or your comments later on, as many of you are so kind to send me messages after these webinars. I was a tour director on board, which meant that I was responsible for everybody who left the ship and went ashore in the different ports of call. And we were in a port in the the Southeast Asia. And I was with a very kind couple, a very tall man, a very large man, and his wife. And they had a private car. I took them out to the private car, and they were greeted by their tour guide and their driver. And the tour guide walked up to the man and he said, "Hello, Mr. Buddha," and rubbed his tummy. The wife started to laugh. The husband went very, very pale, and then he burst out laughing. I had already returned to the ship at this point, and I didn't know what had happened. When they came back on board, and I saw them later that night, they came to me at the tour office, and they were both laughing. And the wife said to me, "I want to say thank you for information that you gave to us in one of your tour talks. because my husband was there and he heard you. And if he had not been there, you would be missing one tour guide this evening. They told me the story, and the man went on to explain how, with an extremely large tummy, his tour guide went on to explain that it was good luck for them to rub their tummies of a Buddha. And that was what he was doing as a guest in their country, out of respect, and actually to bring him wealth and to bring him and his family further abundance. I'm telling you that because the initial reaction to somebody being walked up to and having their stomach rubbed, Chris Johnson, example, would have sent them to the other side of the country. It would have been a natural response in a backhanded way for somebody who would find this incredibly insulting. That was not the way it was meant. So these are the sort of things when we talk about cultural understanding, patience, and thinking the best in people to begin with, and learning a little bit more if necessary, that we will be able to connect together around the world with great big smiles and laughter. That was one of my guests, and I will give you a short version of one that happened to me personally. Standing on the pier side, sending my tours off in my private cars, in the distance, I hear somebody yelling out, "Hey, fat girl." I look around. I couldn't see anybody. I didn't know who was calling, and I didn't know who this was being directed to. I continued with my tour dispatch, my private cars, off they went. This lasted maybe 20 minutes or so. In the process, I heard quite a few times, "Hey, fat girl." Again, no recollection of anybody, no seeing anybody who would have said this, and certainly not knowing who they were talking to. But it did cross my mind that whoever was the recipient of this comment was not going to be happy. My last private car drove away, and the next thing I had a man standing next to me, probably half my height, and he turned around and tugged on my sleeve, and he said, "Hey, fat girl, you weren't here last week. When do you come back again?" That was his way of recognizing me as somebody that he hadn't seen for a while and wanted to say hello to. I laughed because I did not have a tummy in those days. I was not considered fat, and that was his way of a term of endearment. So I used to tell these stories on board the ship to help people understand that different cultures can be incredibly direct, and they will talk to you the way they see you. They will respond to you in the manner that they were taught and educated. So please, let's put smiles on our faces. Let's see the good and the fun aspect of what gets said sometimes, and not always go for the dark side or the bad side of something. Thank you so much for being here tonight. What a wonderful, wonderful week. Let's have a good week ahead of us, and I hope you'll join us next Thursday night again. Take good care, stay safe, and for our highest good and the highest good of all, good night. Good night, everybody.
Thank you so much, and good night to everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, Robin. Good night, Chris. Good night, everyone.
Good night, Robin.
Night.
Have a wonderful evening.
Good night.
Good morning.
Thank
Good
you.
morning. Good
Good night.
night. Good
Good
night.
night.
Good night.
Good night. Good morning. Good
Yeah.
afternoon.
Good morning.
Good
Good
night.
Have
night.
a
Good
blessed
night.
Friday and
Good night.
I was waiting for that, Marty.
Lady
Go ahead, rub
Bird,
my
Chris.
tummy. Rub my
Hey,
tummy.
Captain.
Bye-bye.
Good
To be here all the
Ang
night.
time.
parang hindi ko late ka nang dapat
Bye.
Oh my God.
See ya.
See ya. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Bridget.
Bye,
Good night. Bye,
Good night.
Bye.
Good
Bye,
night.
Marty.
Good
Bye,
night from
Chris.
Houston,
Bye,
Texas.
Lynn.
Bye.
Bye, Lynn. Bye, Chris. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey,
Hey,
Chris.
hey, hey,
Good
Chris.
Hey,
night.
hey, hey. Good night.
Good night.